Good morning, everybody. I was watching some videos on YouTube, and there's a couple on there that talks about their lives and that, and they call it Throwback Thursday. So I said, maybe I'll do that, a Throwback Thursday. And every Thursday I'll try to put a video out talking about my life and how I came to be, and sort of like I was going to do my testimony, but this would be they're doing theirs like in chapters, so I think that's what I do, like when their childhood, and then they were talking about when they grew up, and then when they met each other, and then when they got married, and then when they had their children. So I think I'll do something like that here on my channel, call it Throwback Thursday, and I'll have a video out every Thursday talking about my life, and hopefully it will be good and you can enjoy it. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, Jesus loves you. And catch you on the flip side. Throwback Thursday. My sister and I were born February 11, 1954 in Highland Park Hospital on a cold winter day to Floyd Arthur Carter and Margaret Louise Bricky Carter. We were 3 months premature because my mother fell on the ice. And at the time when we were born, she thought she was only having one baby. So when I was delivered, I think my dad told me that I was dead, born DOA. So they sat me aside, and the doctor told him to clean her up to the intern. While the intern was cleaning my mom up, he found another baby. So that's why I was born at 8:55, and Sharon was born, 7:55, and Sharon was born at 8:02. That's why there was so much time. And while they were delivering her, I squeaked and came alive. So then I was in the airlock for 3 months, and I think Sharon was in there for 1 or 2. And that's how we became visually impaired, because back then they didn't put zinc in the baby's eyes, and so it causes burn the optic nerve. And the eye condition we have is, now it's called prematurity retinopathy. A lot of kids between years of 52 and 57, if they were premature, had that same eye condition. But in our first year of life, I remember crawling on the floors and drinking bottles and little things that I remember when a lady came over and wanted to see the babies, and she said, "Oh, I think this one's cute," and she picked up Sharon, and I started crying. Of course, I wanted attention too. So my mom picked me up. I remember that. And I remember standing on the side of my crib and jumping into the crib, and it broke down, and I guess I knocked myself out. And then one day, my brother and I were standing, we lived on the 3rd floor apartment building, on the 3rd floor. In fact, I think our apartment was either 302 or 321. I think it was 302. And we were standing in the window, and our apartment building was right next door to the police station. And a police officer seen us standing in the window and ran in the building and said, "You got 2 babies standing in the window, they could fall out." I don't remember all that, but I remember standing in the window, my mom coming and getting us and whooping us. And I remember one time my brothers said, "Hey, Kieran," I could hear the people in other apartments, so I thought there was people inside the walls. "Yeah, Kieran, knock on the wall and they'll knock back. They live inside the wall." So I was standing on the dresser in the closet, knocking on the ceiling of the closet, and then person would knock back, and I thought, "There's a person inside the ceiling," because I didn't know there was understand apartments. Now one day, my mom was going to take us all out for a walk, because we always went to the Verner's factory and got popping, because we lived downtown Detroit. But we were going out for a walk, and me and my brother Daryl, I had the crazy idea of going around knocking on the doors. So we were going down the hall, knocking on all these doors, and as I remember knocking on doors, and people open the door and say, "Oh, your little kid shouldn't be doing it, go home." Well, this one guy came out, opened his door, he was in his underwear, and he yelled, "You little brats, get out of here," and blah, 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 and was yelling at us. And my mom came out and whooped our butts. But I think we still went for a walk, but there's a lot of things I remember that people say, how can you remember that? And I go, well, I don't know, I just remember it. But I remember crawling on the floors and it hurting my knees, and I remember my mom giving us baths. I remember we had a gold cat named Pinky and Princess and Boots, the dogs. And I think there was. Of course, my mom had all kinds of fish. She had a fish tank and all that stuff. But I have to think of some other memories. I remember my mom and dad didn't drive, so when we went places, we always took taxis or walked everywhere. We'd walk downtown every Saturday, walk all over the place. And I remember riding in the store one day. I just remember one day me and Sharon we got mad at Mom. We wanted to run away from home. So we started walking down the street. And you're a little kid, so you don't know. When I got to the road, I turned right. Then I walked and got to another road, turned right. Then I walked down another road, turned right. Then I walked to another road, turned right. And all of a sudden, my mom says, oh, you decided to come back home. I thought you were running away. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get here? We're supposed to get way far away. Because I was just walking around the block. I didn't know. My mom says, well, if you're going to run away, run away. What are you coming back for? I remember Christmases when we were little. My dad always made us these paper hats and paper Christmas trees. Those, no matter what presents I would get, those are my favorite things. I would always look forward to them, and I still miss them. And then my mom would make us these monkeys made out of socks. I miss those too. Those were always my favorite presents. I didn't care for that. All kinds of toys and dolls. In fact, I didn't really like dolls. As soon as I got a doll, I'd pull its head off. Poor things. They didn't stand a chance.